Chapter 1 Crop Production and Management. Paheli and Bujo went to their uncle's house during the summer vacation. Their uncle is a farmer. One day they saw some tools like kurpi, sickle, shovel, plough, etc. in the field. You have learned that all living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. So, where do you animals get their food from? But first of all, why do we have to eat food? You already know that energy from the food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various body functions such as digestion, respiration and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals or both. In order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management and distribution is necessary. Agricultural practices. When plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity and rainfall vary from one region to another. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. These are Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. Rabi crops. The crops grown in the winter season October to March are called Rabi crops. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places. Basic practices of crop production. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. You may find that these activities are similar to those carried out by a gardener or even by you when you grow ornamental plants in your house. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices, which are listed below. First, preparation of soil. Second, sowing. Third, adding manure and fertilizers. Fourth, irrigation. Fifth, protection from weeds. Sixth, harvesting. Seventh, storage. First, preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. Why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. But why the soil needs to be turned and loosened? You have learned in the previous classes that soil contains minerals, water, air and some living organisms. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients in the dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of the top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use these nutrients. Thus, turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or ploughing. This is done by using a plough. Ploughs are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before ploughing. The ploughed field may have big clumps of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of manure with soil. The soil is moistened before sowing. Agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil clumps to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plough, hoe and cultivator. Plough. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds and turning the soil. This is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals, horses and camels. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called ploughshare. The main part of the plough is a long log of wood which is called a plough shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bull's neck. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plough. The indigenous wooden plough is increasingly being replaced by iron ploughs nowadays. Hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. Cultivator. Nowadays, ploughing is done by tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Sowing. Sowing is an important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality, clean, healthy seeds of good variety are selected. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give high yield. Selection of seeds. Are there seeds which float or on water? Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? Why would they be lighter? Damaged seeds become hollow and are thus lighter. Therefore, they float on water. This is a good method for separating good healthy seeds from the damaged ones. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Traditional tools. The tool used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through the 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends press into the soil and place seeds there. Seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This sows the seeds uniformly at equal distances and depth. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Appropriate distance between these seeds is necessary to avoid overcrowding of plants. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients and water from the soil. At times, a few plants may have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. Adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plants. In certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. The field is never left uncultivated or fallow. Imagine what happens to the nutrients. Continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring. Improper or insufficient manuring results in a weak plants. Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plants or animal waste. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learned about vermicomposting in class 6. Did plants in all the classes grow at the same place? Which class showed better growth of plants? In which class was the growth fastest? Fertilizers are chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrient. How are they different from manure? Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonia, ammonium sulfate, sulfur superphosphate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil, we have to substitute fertilizers with organic manure or leave the field uncultivated. Follow in between two crops. The use of manure improves the soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with nutrients. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is through crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternatively. Earlier, farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Farmers are being encouraged to adopt this practice. In the previous classes, you have learnt about rhizobium bacteria. These are present in the nodules of roots of leguminous plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. Difference between fertilizers and manure. Fertilizer. Fertilizer is a man-made inorganic salt. Fertilizer is prepared in factories. Fertilizers does not provide any humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Manure. Manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung and plant residue. Manure can be prepared in the fields. Manure provides a lot of humus to the soil. Manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. Table 1.1 gives the differences between a fertilizer and manure. Advantages of manure. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy. It increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. Irrigation. All living beings need water to live. Water is important for proper growth and development. Water is absorbed by the plant roots along with the water. Minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. Plants contain nearly 90% of water. Water is essential because germination of seeds does not take place under dry conditions. Nutrients dissolved in water are transported to each part of the plant. Water also protects the crop from both frost and hot air currents. To maintain the moisture of the soil for healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. The supply of water to crops at regular interval is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. In summer, the frequency of watering is higher. Why it is so? Could it be due to the increased rate of evaporation of water from the soil and the leaves? Sources of irrigation. The sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. Traditional methods of irrigation. The water available in the wells, lakes and canals is lifted up by different methods in different regions for taking it to the fields. Cattle or human labor is used in these methods, so these methods are cheaper but less efficient. The various traditional ways are moat, pulley system, chain pump, dekli and rahat, lever system. Pumps are commonly used for lifting water. Diesel, biogas, electricity and solar energy is used to run these pumps. Modern methods of irrigation. Modern methods of irrigation help us to use water economically. The main methods used are as follows. First, sprinkler system. This system is more useful on the uneven land where sufficient water is not available. The perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on top are joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals. When water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump, it escapes from the rotating nozzles. It gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. Sprinkler is very useful for lawn, coffee plantation and several other crops. Second, drip system. In this system, the water falls drop by drop directly near the roots, so it is called drip system. It is the best technique for watering fruit plants, gardens and trees. Water is not wasted at all. It is a boon in the regions where availability of water is poor. Protection from weeds. Guzzo and Paheli went to a nearby wheat field and saw that there were some other plants in the field growing along with the wheat plants. In a field, many other undesirable plants may grow naturally along with the crop. These undesirable plants are called weeds. The removal of weeds is called weeding. Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrients, space and light. Thus, they affect the growth of the crop. Some weeds interfere even in harvesting and may be poisonous for animals and human beings. Farmers adopt many ways to remove weeds and control their growth. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. The best time for the removal of weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. The manual removal includes physical removal of weeds by uprooting or cutting them close to the ground. From time to time, this is done with the help of a kurpi. A seed drill is also used to uproot weeds. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in the field to kill the weeds. They do not damage the crops. The weedicides are diluted with water to the extent required and sprayed in the fields with the sprayer. As already mentioned, the weedicides are sprayed during the vegetative growth of weeds before flowering and seed formation. Spraying of weedicides may affect the health of farmers, so they should use these chemicals very carefully. They should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals. Harvesting. Harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by a machine called harvester. In the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. This is carried out with the help of a machine called combine, which is in fact a harvester as well as the thresher. Farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. You have already studied this in class 6th. Storage. Storage of produce is an important task. If the harvested grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insects, rats and microorganisms. Harvested grains have more moisture. If freshly harvested grains seeds are stored without drying, they may get spoilt or attacked by organisms, making them unfit for use or for germination. Hence, before storing them, the grains are properly dried in the sun to reduce the moisture in them. This prevents the attack by insects, pests, bacteria and fungi. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large-scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rats and insects. And dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. For storing large quantities of grains in big godowns, specific chemical treatments are required to protect them from pests and microorganisms. Food from animals. After completing this table, you must have seen that, like plants, animals also provide us with different kinds of food. Many people living in the coastal areas consume fish as a major part of their diet. In the previous classes, we have learnt about the food that we obtain from plants. We have just seen that the process of crop production involves a number of steps like selection of seeds, sowing, etc. Similarly, animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with proper food, shelter and care. When this is done on a large scale, it is called as animal husbandry. Thank you.